Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Monday, March 28th, 2022, and today, for the first time, we are going to cover some paranormal news. As always, you find all episodes of the podcast, as well as links to social media, ways to donate, and other ways to contact me. You can find all of those at the podcast page, which is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions for shows, or if you have stories of experiences, whether they're your own or others you trust. Always happy to either read those out loud on the show, if you want to send them in a text format, or if you'd like to be on the show and tell the stories yourself. Happy to have you here as well. Just contact me and we can arrange that. So, as I said, we're trying something new out today for this show. I was thinking a little while back it might be interesting to cover some news, or at least fairly recent news, that has to do with the paranormal. Just here and there. At least the plan right now is once a week. And I want to thank Eric, the Night Stalker, who will be on Wednesday, as well as Michael Strange from Trouble Minds Radio for helping me figure out how to do this. Really appreciate it. A couple of the stories, if we get to them tonight, are actually were given to me by Michael Strange. So I really appreciate that. And I think this should be fun. It's going to take a couple weeks to get used to doing this, but I think it'll work. So, let's go to this first story here. I'll put it in the chat. And then we can, I'll just talk about it a bit. And this one is, the title for this one is Watch UFO Change Sizes and Freak Out a Guy in Sikeston, Missouri. As the article mentions, there is a video, so if you want to check that out, you can. So I'll just describe this article to you here, and we'll go from there. So, basically, this video shows something, UFO maybe, or at least something unidentified that seems to change size on this video. And the author of this account here, let's see here. This is their at least their screen name anyway, I'm guessing is Doc Holliday. And this is on let's see, the website here is khmoradio.com. Guessing it's a local station there. And so basically the author says either the author doesn't know if basically it's either a planet and the author is basically not doing the recording right in a certain way, or it's UFO, which is also strange. And it says that the man's name that took this video was named Jamie. And this is what follows here is a description a little bit of what the video shows. It's a UFO over Sikeston, Missouri, March 12th, 2022. And of course, Jamie mentions that it's not a planet. The author in this article is saying that he thinks it is. So, and apparently there is some language used in the video. So, if you don't care for any kind of cussing or anything like that, maybe you might want to mute the audio. But um, so basically, the article says that the the changing sizes look like whatever zoom lens he was using on his camera. But he said he saw it changing sizes with his own eyes, so that's interesting. In a way, that's different because if he didn't see it with his eyes, then maybe, uh, maybe it was just a camera issue. Whether it was his own doing, the the person taking the video's own doing, or or not. And let's see here. The author of this article says that their first instinct was that it was a planet that was visible, but the author says they need to know which direction Jamie was facing in Sykeston to determine which one it might be. And the author says it doesn't appear to be moving to him, but it did apparently to Jamie, the person that took this video. And the author rules out a plane or a weather balloon as it's floating in the night sky, but says it's basically too large to be either one of those. And so basically the author of this article and the Jamie, the one that took the video, basically disagree on whether or not this is a UFO or just a planet. So anyway, and then it has the video in here. And so that's basically that article, including the video. And so I thought that's interesting. I mean, it's the whole UFO thing. I'm very interested in it, but I haven't really looked into a lot of the videos or the sightings of things, at least in video form. Just because of my low vision, I'm not going to be the best one to examine those closely. So I mainly focus on the stories of the experiences, which I really do enjoy checking those out because of, again, the patterns you can find in those, and maybe the differences between the experiences. So, but thank you all for being here. I see you there on the side there, listening. Hello, Derek. Now, Derek, like I said, the Night Stalker, he's going to be on the show on Wednesday, so we can talk about another major Marvel Comics event. And this is our once a month show. We're going to be doing whatever we can on major events that have connections to the paranormal. And so this is an event that I read myself years ago, so I'm excited for it as well. We're gonna do some of those shows later on where we cover events that I haven't read, which will also be different. So, but anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that Wednesday. So let's move on to the next story here, and this one says mysterious entities purportedly captured on camera in San Vicente, Mexico. Not sure if I'm saying that name right. And this is from, let's see here. Mysterious, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's from Singular 14. And the authors are the owners of that website, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not remembering the podcast I've heard before correctly. So it's Tobias and Emily Wayland. I believe it's Tobias that I've heard on different podcasts here and there. So anyway, basically it's these entities apparently captured on camera over in Mexico. And so let's see here. According to this article, Mexican journalist and UFO enthusiast. This is another Jamie. That's kind of interesting. That's an odd coincidence there. But Jamie Masson, I'm not sure, released a video earlier in the month that he claims showed two entities descending into what appears to be a junkyard in this one state in Mexico. And the video shows what the authors say is likely to be one object distorted by motion blur, although it's been reported as two entities positioned next to each other. And they're basically floating above the ground before changing direction and heading off camera. Basically, once they were confronted by three dogs, which is odd. I wonder why this whatever this is turned and left. It seems like a lot of UFOs, in a lot of cases, they appear to be pretty powerful, and or at the very least not concerned with other people, or especially animals. I would think seeing it. So I thought that was that's an odd point there. So let's see here. Apparently, this video was taken around on February 23rd at around 1:30 in the morning. Apparently, oh, okay. Well, this is something there that I didn't know about. Apparently, this Jamie Masson is the man behind the infamous Roswell slides debacle of 2015. So, make of that what you will. That's a whole other debate or discussion, or so yeah. I don't even want to get. That's a whole fiasco in a way. So, however, it's interesting in a way that this person continues to be active in this community. Whether, and I don't know a ton about this, but I've heard a lot from different people that it's a lot of what this guy does can be proven as, or has been proven by other people as being fake. So, but I guess as always, look into this yourselves and see what you think. So that's the second article, and let's see here. I'm going back to the chat, and hello, Jen Hawkins. Thank you for being here in the chat again. And let's see here, Mike J. I see you there, and let's see here. So yeah. Let's see here. So that's basically that story. Derek says Singular 14 is good. They don't post a ton, but when they do, it's a juicy one. Okay. And also, says motion blur or something not able to be fully captured by cameras, like Bigfoot and UFOs and stuff. Not fully in our realm, or something ethereal. Yeah, it's possible. So let's see here. Yeah, so that's the second story, and we'll go from there. So I don't know if I shared that one or not in the chat. If you all will excuse me, I will share that now. Remember if I did or not? Well, I'll check. Thank you all for being patient with me as I do this news show for the first time. Okay, I didn't share it. There we go. There's that one. So, and then we'll move on to this next one here. This one says, Let's see here. Yeah, I did. Okay. This one says ghost hunters photograph hooded figure in Sherwood Forest, and that's in the UK. And this is from Unexplained Mysteries. And sightings of ghosts, whatever they are. And it says this alleged. Let's see here. Where's the? I'm trying to make sure I give everyone credit. Okay, doesn't really say who it was by. At least not at the beginning, anyway. It says an alleged apparition has been caught on camera in the woods, thought to have once been frequented by Robin Hood. And the article mentions that the idea of Sherwood Forest being famous because of that story. And this area has become a popular visitor attraction as well as a target for paranormal investigators hoping to capture evidence of people that had lived there before in spirit form, basically. Most recently, the paranormal investigator Dean Buckley and his spiritualist partner Veronica were there when they captured something on camera. It was January 29th, I'm guessing of this year, after 11:30 at night, which means the place was pitch black, dark. And the image that they caught shows what they think to be the ghost or spirit of a hooded figure. And basically the idea is that, according to Veronica, this medium, I think it is. Let me go back and check here, see, make sure. Yeah, medium partner. Okay. This medium thinks might have been one of the merry men associated with Robin Hood. Now, I haven't looked into that, so I have no idea if there was ever a basis of for that being based centered around an actual person or not. I haven't looked into that story. But basically, it was caught on camera in the forest. They felt like these two felt like they were being watched at all times, and they're basically they felt like they were being watched as they went deeper into this forest. They also heard footsteps and whistles behind them and saw shadows. So let's see. Now it mentions that the photograph isn't really clear. It basically appears as a vague shape in the gloom. And it's okay. So this article comes from the Nottingham Post. So again, you can check that out and see, look at the picture and everything there. But yeah, I always like hearing about investigators checking places out and maybe catching things. Who knows? So let's see here. So we'll move on to the next story here. This one is also one I found on Unexplained Mysteries. And let's see here. This one says expedition findings shed new light on Dyatlov Pass mystery. This is a story that or an event that is it's a coincidence or not, synchronicity, I don't know, but this came up the other day. What was that? Was that last week? I forget now. Because I'm terrible with that. But I know I was just talking with someone about this the other day. So, but get to the story here. And this one came out, at least on this website, on March 25th. And it says the findings bolster one particular explanation to one of the 20th century's most enduring mysteries. And this happened in Russia, in this Dyatlov Pass area, where a group of 9 students went missing after going on a trek, on a journey through the Ural mountains. And they left for on this journey on January 23rd, 1959, and were never seen alive again. When the rescue teams went to look for them, they found the group's tent, which appeared to have been sliced open from the inside with a sharp instrument on the slopes of a mountain that I'm not going to try to pronounce. The hikers' belongings were all scattered around the campsite, and there was a trail of footprints to indicate that they had gotten up and left in a hurry, some of them without any shoes or socks. And that's one thing I've heard before, is this the strange way some of them appeared to not be wearing or have taken off parts of their clothing, which is obviously not something you want to do when you are in an area that is, as far as I've heard, very much winter, wintry conditions for a good part of the year, or at least part of the year. And let's see here. And after following the trail for 1.5 kilometers, the rescuers discovered 5 bodies, many showing signs of physical trauma. I won't get into the details here, just because it's pretty gruesome in some ways. But then there was no sign of the other 4 members of the group at the time. However, eventually, over the next 2 months, the rescuers, there we go. I had those 2 words switched around. But eventually rescuers located their remains in a nearby woodland. Criminal investigation later on blamed their deaths on an unknown compelling force. And then, so it says, several decades later, a new study was published in a journal, and it put forward this idea that the hikers had died from an unusual form of small-scale delayed avalanche. And apparently there's further evidence of this idea thanks to a number of more recent expeditions to the area that say there's potentially enough evidence of this to consider the mystery solved once and for all. And the idea apparently was originally put forth in early 2021. And basically, since then, these expeditions have been based on this idea. And so let's see here. The data from these expeditions, this is according to the article, prove that the area is avalanche prone and that slopes above the location where the group set their tent is steep enough for avalanches to release. So there's more in this article. There's some pictures and everything as well. So, as always, might be a good idea to check that out for all the details. So, let's see here how we're doing for time. Okay. I think we'll go through at least one more article here. This one is also something that has come up in different shows and conversations I've heard recently. And yes, Derek, unknown compelling force, creepy. Yes, yeah. There's not a lot of other focus on in the article on that. They have that one phrase in there and then they just leave it. Which I guess if they don't know what it is, maybe that's they can't say much more than that. But so yeah, I don't know. But, so we'll go with this one. This comes from Anomalien, Anomalien. Trumpet sounds in the sky. Supernatural noise continues around the world. I believe. Let me see here. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And this is by their website. Doesn't really say give a name of an author individually. This is released on March 24th this year. So this says trumpet sounds from the sky are compared with the roar, rumble, and creaking of metal, the noise of a jet engine, a high-speed train, giant speakers from which the sky phones, PHONS, basically loud sounds. And they're said to be really low, recorded by many people in different parts of the planet. And this apparently, according to this article, these sounds started from 2011. Many people call them the sounds of the apocalypse. And apparently these sounds have been becoming more frequent and also switched to a new tonal scale. So a lot has changed, it says, in these sounds during the last couple of years. The frequency of observations has increased, and the tones have changed, as I already said. Some of the new sounds resemble sounds of opening some giant gates or the roar of animals continued over time. And it has some videos recordings of these sounds all over the world. Let's see here. I'll just name off some of the places that it has mentioned. Slovakia on January 20th. Saskatchewan in Canada, January 16th. Poland, December of 2021. Wait, Poland or yeah, Poland. Okay. Says what these changes are connected with. No one knows. Some tend to mystify the sounds, which supposedly indicate again, like they said, the apocalypse or basically a end of the world. Of course, other physicists, that's a hard word to say. The sounds that are the causes that generate these waves can be located both in the core of the planet and on the sun, so it can be coming from either below or above. Scientists believe that the source of these sounds should be very large-scale energy processes, which would include powerful solar flares and the giant energy flows generated by them rushing to Earth to the surface and destabilizing the magnetosphere. ionosphere, and upper atmosphere. So let's see here. It goes into a little more detail about that. And it mentions the audible range of these massive waves of energy is fixed. Is basically appears, as it said, to people in the form of a low frequency sound in different parts of the planet. Let's see here. So let's see. Keep on going here. There's a lot more, I think, to this article. It says a large number of people see these or hear these strange sounds and think of alien activity. Others think they're activities of the military that are digging up something. They believe that the hum is a side effect of the U.S. population control experiments. Wow. The idea that the CIA uses low-frequency emitters to reprogram people's behavior. That's not terrifying. So let's see here. Yeah, so there's a lot more in this article. I think I'll leave it there for the rest of you to check out more of it. But just wanted to touch on this because it does keep popping up in the online. I'm sure we've all heard about this over the last few years. So let's see here. Derek says the mysterious booms too. Both are super weird giant gates. That happens in a amateur. Yeah. Yes. That's true. Yep. Yeah. This just sounds almost Lovecraftian in a way. So I think that's where I'll leave it for today. That was, and I'll include in podcast in the description if I can fit them all. Sometimes YouTube doesn't like to let me fit a lot in the description, but we will see what I can do. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this. This was, I think this went pretty well for a first time, and we'll keep on doing this every Monday. And like I said, I wanted to thank. I don't think you were here yet at the time, Derek. I wanted to thank Derek, the Night Stalker, and also Michael Strange for helping me figure out how to do these news shows. I think they'll be a lot of fun, especially as we go on, and maybe they'll start showing some patterns and things as well, along with the experience stories. And so the plan for this week, like I said, Mondays are going to be news episodes from now on. Tuesdays will be true stories from the web. I'm going to combine the true ghost and true paranormal stories episodes from now on, so they'll just be a mix of paranormal stories of experiences, basically on Tuesdays, and then when we don't have guests or other things planned for Wednesdays, they'll be those will be those episodes as well. So this week we have Derek on Wednesday, covering an event in Marvel. I won't say what it is because we might as well leave it as a surprise. Thursday I'll be covering Black House, which is the novel. It's a sequel to The Talisman, which I reviewed last Thursday, by Stephen King and Peter Straub. And Friday we will be taking a brief look, because there's just so much. A brief look at Missing 411 and some of the stranger cases there, and just to look into that, just because of the connections to mountains, which is what we've been talking about this last few weeks on Fridays. So, and that's the plan for this week. Thank you all for being here, and I will talk to you all tomorrow night on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Have a good night.